Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live tonight from Long Beach here in California. This street course very tricky, very unique, and going to be a big challenge for the drivers in the GT4 machines here in race number 7 of this season. This is the summer season here for the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. And we only have a few races left, just 2 more following tonight's race. And it is currently Bruce Wiley atop the standings, but the top 5 in the points, separated by only 27 points coming into tonight's race. There are only 8 drivers in the field, but definitely points to make up here on some of the championship leaders. The gap right now between the top 2 in the standings, just 15 points. Bruce Wiley is your points leader. Aaron Dietrich, who is here tonight as well, he comes in 15 behind with a couple wins in the features so far this season. The drivers are out on the racetrack qualifying right now. Taking a look at Brian Kennedy, who is also a feature winner so far this season, as he makes his way around the very scenic fountain section. A big slide right there, trying to improve his time. He'll bring it to a stop. And let's see if we can ride on board here with Darren Treacle, who's looking to try and improve from second on the charts, really deep in the corner there. He makes his way around the fountain section. You can see the track map up on your top left. And it's just 8 drivers so far in this race section or session, but as we've seen in the past, small field does not mean small action. I'm expecting a lot of good battling in this field. Very competitive at the top of the series. Let's see, 11 corners here, just 1.9 miles at Long Beach. Not a super long racetrack, but very technical, difficult, and then worn out surface, very bumpy. Darren here back to the right through turn number 9, back to the left through turn 10. And then back to the right, the more than a hairpin right there, turn number 11, as he's going to make his way back towards the start-finish line. Just 50 seconds left in qualifying. Doesn't look like he is going to improve upon his lap on that one. But along this bending front stretch back towards turn number 1, as he's going to make that hard left-hand turn, nearly 90 degrees, and then around to the right, and then up to the fountain section. Definitely a tricky place to get around, and really cool as they race along the streets here in Long Beach. IndyCar has a really great race early on in the season usually, and that has been one of the most entertaining to watch in recent years. As Darren trying to muscle out another bit of time here, but he is going to run out of time in the qualifying session. We'll head to our starting grid tonight. The race is presented by SEOMike as well as Duncan Racing Designs. Make sure to check them out in the links in the video description, as well as at the halfway break. We'll be doing a quick commercial break at that point, and you can learn more about those sponsors. But great sponsors, and great to have them on board here with this league this season, as we are going to the starting grid for tonight's race. This is the heat race, a 20-minute heat race, and then it'll be a 20-minute feature. So let's take a look at who is starting at the top. That is going to be Colin Kortnick in the Porsche machine. He's going to roll off from the first position, starting in the second spot. It's going to be Dean Tulane in the SEOMike BMW. Mike Nickham going to start from third position. David Curtis going to roll off from the 4th spot here tonight. Aaron Dietrich, he'll start from the 5th position underneath that bridge there. Bruce Wiley going to be alongside him. Your points leader, the 6th position on the grid tonight. Darren Treacle showing as 7th. And then Brian Kennedy, by nature of getting the pole, going to start tail end of the field in 8th position, but not a lot of spots to make up tonight. So that is good news for him. He's going to have a good shot at getting up there and challenging for a heat win and then maybe a feature win as well, as the field's going to start rolling here at Long Beach. Who's going to win? Who are you rooting for? And who do you think is going to have a shot here in the heat race? Make sure to cheer them on in chat. We'll try and follow along throughout tonight's event. We do thank you for tuning in to V-Speed here on V-Speed 2. Thursday nights, home to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Home for the BMW Car Club of America in the Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland area. And here we go on to the front stretch, waiting for that green flag to fly. They are nearly at the start-finish line, and there it is. Good jump by Dean Tulane, the number 84, pulling it alongside Colin Kortnick. Battle for the lead. Oh man, and deep into the corner goes Mike Nickum. Nearly gets into Dean Tulane as they make their way into the fountain, and up over the curb goes Aaron Dietrich. Darren Treacle starting from pit lane. Not sure what's going on there, but he'll be starting at the back of this one. The field snaking their way towards turn number 6. Back to the left underneath the banner. And we have a battle for third position. That is Dean Tulane. David Curtis, the 43, pulls it alongside. And here comes Aaron Dietrich. Nice run off that corner. He's going to try and get a spot as they make their way down this narrow street. It is still Colin Kortnick out in front. David Curtis able to hold off Aaron Dietrich for the moment. Keep an eye on Brian Kennedy at the tail end of the field. They make their way through the final corner to complete lap number 1. Clean and green so far in this one. No issues whatsoever other than Darren Treacle taking it behind the wall. Colin Kortnick going to be leading the field back down into turn number 1. This time a little bit more breathing room over Mike Nickum. Dean Tulane right there as well. Going to get deep into that corner. Such a tricky spot on this track. Oh man, Bruce Wiley nearly took a shot at a pass attempt, but not going to do it that time as we ride on board with the 67. Colin Kortnick leads them past the plaza there, and single file they go. In a small field, but again, tight, packed so far, and I would expect there to be a few comers and goers throughout this race. Aaron Dietrich, one of those guys you expect to be up towards the front before the end of the race, and they are going to make contact at the back of the field. Brian Kennedy gets into Bruce Wiley as they stacked up for turn 11. Let's take a look at that replay. Stacked up and then, yeah, just made contact right there. As we go back live, Brian Kennedy's lost some ground, and he has that front end damage now, so that could affect him. And the pole sitter struggling to make up ground here early on in this one, as Colin Kortnick leads them through turn number 5, back towards turn number 6. Good advantage there, still nose to tail for the rest of the top 5. And I think there may be some problems for Brian Kennedy. He is about 4 seconds behind, starting to pull back up to Bruce Wiley at this point, but definitely lost some momentum. And how about a side-by-side battle? David Curtis, Aaron Dietrich. And Aaron is going to back out. Interesting to see that when he had a pretty good position alongside, but being a little bit cautious as they will stack up again down into turn 11, and Brian Kennedy this time able to stay off the bumper of Bruce Wiley, but only just. And he has reeled himself back in to the fight for 6th position. Colin Kortnick, the Porsche, out in front. The only Porsche here tonight. Doing a nice job navigating the streets of Long Beach. Dean Tooling goes a little wide through the fountain section, but nobody able to make a move for position for the first 5 minutes of this race. And Brian Kennedy has lost a lot of ground. I don't know what happened here, but let's go take a look. Ooh, missed the turn. Had to back up and get pointed in the right direction as we go back live. But he finds himself now 13.8 seconds behind. Gonna be a long road from here. Really great shots from the camera crew tonight. Remember, cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there and who you're rooting for. As in the front of the field, it's going to be a change for the race lead back towards turn number 1. Colin Kortnick trying to get back alongside. He's not going to let it go that easily. And here we go into turn 1. Into the wall goes the race leader at the moment, Mike Nickum. Big hit. And that's going to collect Dean Tooling as well. Let's go back and take a look at what happened as they charge down into turn number 1. Mike Nickum just too hot into the corner. Huge hit. Oof. And the 84 piles in. Colin Kortnick did get a piece of it, but maintains the race lead. But not for long. He is falling back now. The damage could be playing in effect. I think he may have steering damage. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if that is... Yeah, that's the right front wheel. He's definitely got problems. And the field just closed up behind him. And able to go on by is David Curtis. Colin, I don't think he realized how much damage he had on the right front. Really tough time turning back to the left. And that is his current status, back in the 5th position. Cannot turn left very well. And it is now down to 3 cars out in front. David Curtis is your race leader. Aaron Dietrich finds himself 2nd, and Bruce Wiley in 3rd. Colin is going to bring it to pit road. Dean Tooling as well. I would expect Mike Nickum, he has towed it to pit road. Has promoted Brian Kennedy up to the 4th position, and not over for the 77 just yet. But wow, what an exciting first half of this race for just 8 cars in the field. We're now down to about 3 fighting for it. Brian Kennedy nearly 10 seconds back, hoping that these guys maybe find their way into a little bit of trouble. But all very similar lap times from these 3 drivers. On board with Bruce Wiley once again. Your points leader coming into the race this evening. Aaron Dietrich is 2nd in points. He's right there in front of him. Michael Pavolano comes in 3rd in the standings, but he is not here tonight. Brian Kennedy would be 4th in points. He should be able to get up to 3rd because of Michael Pavolano not being here as they cross the line. Brian just looking for solid points tonight to keep himself in the hunt. About 24 points behind Bruce Wiley in the championship standings. As we've got slow cars on the track. Darren Treacle has just brought it onto the racetrack. And Mike Nickham as well, very slow getting back up to speed. The leaders go on by. Ooh, bouncing off the wall. Aaron Dietrich, the 270. As Brian Kennedy is making up time. Last time around, he was 0.8 quicker than the race leader, and the top 4 all ran their fastest laps of the race, so the cars are just getting quicker. And you love to see that. It's going to get very competitive, I think, in this second half of the race, as 10 minutes going to tick off. They work their way through the hairpin, turn number 11. Aaron Dietrich puts the power down a little bit too soon there, cost himself a little bit of drive off, but he's going to have a nice draft down the front stretch as they work their way up to speed. 130 miles an hour, 140 into the braking zone, deep on the brakes. There goes the 270 of Aaron Dietrich. These top 3 inseparable, all within a second, and that is such a tricky corner. No inside barrier, but you do have the curb, and you've got to mind the track limits. Just got to be careful not to run too far off the track, or you'll get a course cutting penalty. And Aaron Dietrich really putting the pressure on. Good run through the corner there, still about a car length and a half behind. Now peeks out driver's right, not going to be close enough to make a move, but maybe trying to force a mistake out of the 43. He's doing a very solid job out in the lead. Oh, and Aaron Dietrich going to get a big slide off of turn 11. Gonna look at what happened right here to the 270 of Aaron Dietrich. He falls to 3rd, still in the hunt for the win. But this is what happened. Just, oh, got on the throttle a little bit too hard. I'm not sure if he went to avoid David Curtis. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. He just got too far around. As we go back live, he is in the 3rd position, still right there, but now it's Bruce Wiley who could try and capitalize. Brian Kennedy, you know, all the while continues to close in. He's still 7 seconds back, but, you know, at one point was 13 seconds behind the leader. The really good stuff here from Long Beach in the first heat race of the night. And they'll try and complete another one. David Curtis admirably holding off the 2 behind him, and Aaron Dietrich scrubs the barrier there through turn 11. And if you love what you're seeing here tonight, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You could really use your support here on V-Speed 2, home of BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing action, as well as the Champion Motorsports Friday Night Truck Series, which will be back tomorrow night with your hosts Eddie Smith and Alec Martinez, looking to put on a good race from Gateway. As, oh, big run for Aaron Dietrich, carried him right into the wall, and he is trying to find a way around Bruce Wiley, who's starting to fall off a little bit here. The battle's now more so for second than it is for the race lead. Darren Treacle, who's on the racetrack, getting a little bit of race pace experience. Gonna probably be starting up front in the features. He's gonna finish in last place in this heat race. Man, how about Aaron Dietrich? He's trying everything he can to make a move. Gonna go wide on entry, try and cut it in, but just so tough through turn 11 to do that without inviting somebody else to make a move on you. So Bruce Wiley has to keep it pretty tight there, and then Aaron Dietrich just can't really make up any time through turn 11, so they go back towards turn number 1. The gap about 6.5 tenths of a second. Bruce Wiley, big run into the fountain section, able to close up a car length. David Curtis just so solid here tonight, but I think he might have scrubbed the wall, and that has cost him some time. Oh, more rubbing against the wall right there. The top 3 all nose to tail once again. So David Curtis, a couple little slip-ups, and that's brought these two right back to him. And then you've got the lap machine of Darren Treacle in the distance, 7 laps down, not in the fight. As how about Aaron Dietrich there? Different approach to that corner. Oh, and now contact for the lead. David Curtis just about gets into Bruce Wiley. That is going to check the 67 up big time. Here comes Aaron in the 270. That University of Kentucky machine. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 1? It hasn't worked out for anybody here tonight. And you can just hear these cars crunching up against the concrete barriers into the fountain section. Just, man, trying everything he can to get to second spot. They've only got about 2 laps remaining after this one. Time is running out. Guess they hold it nice and tight through there. Nose to tail. Hard to pass here at Long Beach. Brian Kennedy, man, he is making up ground though. Now down to 5.5 seconds behind. Fastest car on the racetrack. But he is going to be a threat for the win, I think. As now we've got, again, side-by-side battle for the lead. Bruce Wiley just not able to keep the power down as he tried to pinch it off the exit of turn 11, but he is closer this time. 2 laps to go here at Long Beach in the heat race. Back towards turn number 1. Peaks driver's left, not going to be able to make the move. Has to back off a little bit through that corner. Into the fountain section. Aaron Dietrich has been so strong on entry, but costs him time on exit. Darren Treacle's closed right up to this. He is definitely quick. He's the fastest car on track, but fresher tires than the rest of these guys. He's run just less laps in general. I think this is when the cars start to handle a little bit poorly. Bruce Wiley losing a little bit of time. I think he's concerned with the 270 behind him more than he is with the 43 out in front of him. And we will be coming back to the white flag. White flag is going to be shown here to David Curtis, who has done a fantastic job out in front. Started in the 4th position. He has led 9 of the 13 laps that have been completed. after the contact out front with Colin Kortnick, Mike Nickum, and Dean Tulane. Can he hang on for one more lap? Bruce Wiley's starting to fade here at the very last bit of this race. Aaron Dietrich desperate to make a move, but not close enough. As there's contact, the 67 gets the wall. They might just be side by side. No. Aaron Dietrich just cannot get the power down off that corner to get closer. The gap now 1.3 seconds as David Curtis flies on past. And he is going to be able to do it, I think, unless he makes a mistake in the final corner. Bruce Wiley sends it down in there. But it is not going to be enough. David Curtis, off of turn 11, is going to win the heat race at Long Beach. As they will bring it down towards turn number 1 and give him a congratulatory bump or something like that. Yeah, there's the bump from Brian Kennedy as they will pile into turn number 1. Let's take a look at your results here for heat race number 1. Dean Tulane, Colin Kortnick still yet to finish, but they should be piling in here any moment now. But that is how they're going to end up in the heat race tonight. They will be inverted from this for the feature race, so Darren Treacle will be starting up front. Mike Nickum going to be starting in the second position, so keep an eye out for those two drivers who are very quick throughout this event. And then Colin Kortnick, he'll get another shot to go out there and prove himself after getting collected in that turn 1 incident. But we are going to head to a quick halfway break, and we will be right back. SEOMike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEOMike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEOMike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Cabot,
where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back at the racetrack now. We'll see if we can pull in our heat race winner, and that is Mr. David Curtis. Let's see if we can get him into the booth with us. Hey Dave, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
do, Adam. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good, man. And you had your hands full there for the heat race, and you're able to hold them all off and take the victory. How does it feel to get that that heat race win? And then, did you learn anything for the feature here tonight?
Yeah, thanks. Like always, it's try to keep it off the walls and try to keep it out of the other drivers. Tight quarters in here, and a little bit of wheel spin can put you in a lot of trouble quickly.
Yeah, definitely a very unique track here at Long Beach. Is there anything notable about getting around here that you've noticed compared to some of the other tracks you've been to this season?
You can cut the curbing in the corners quite a bit, opposed to some of the other tracks. The turtles here are just a suggestion. You can pretty much roll over anywhere you want to.
That's a good detail to note. So we'll keep an eye out for drivers, taking advantage of that here at Long Beach. But congrats on the heat race win, and go get them here in the feature.
Thanks, Adam. Hope it's been a good show.
All right. It has been a good show indeed. That is David Curtis, who is your heat race winner, as we are going to go to the starting grid again here tonight. It is going to be Darren Treacle now starting on the front row. Mike Nickham going to be rolling off in second. Colin Kortnick going to be starting from the third position for the feature race. Dean Tulane is going to start from the fourth spot. Brian Kennedy going to start from fifth position. Aaron Dietrich going to roll off from the sixth spot. Bruce Wiley going to start in seventh here tonight in the feature race. And David Curtis, your heat race winner, is going to have his hands full trying to get up to get a feature race win and sweep the night. We haven't seen anyone do that this season, but he could be the first one to do it as the field's stacking up a little bit here out of the hairpin, turn number 11. And Darren Treacle leads him down towards the start-finish line, waiting for that green flag to fly, and there it is, off and away for the feature race from Long Beach. Colin Kortnick, really good start here tonight in the feature, trying to make up ground. Everybody makes it through turn 1, into turn 2, into the fountain section. Turn number 3, turn 4, and then going to be headed towards turn number 5. That is how quickly they knock out the first 5 turns. Colin Kortnick, big slide out of the turn 5 though. And that allows Brian Kennedy on through into third position. He was the fastest car for most of the last race, but Darren Treacle also really quick here at Long Beach tonight. Battle for fifth position. Aaron Dietrich going to try and take it from Dean Tulane, and he will get that spot. Now Bruce Wiley looks to try and do the same thing. And deep into the corner, using those turtles as a suggestion. Now side by side through turns 9, 10, and 11. Bruce going to keep it pinned tightly, but here comes the run from Dean. Going to try and get back around the outside. He'll have the momentum. They are dead even across the line. This for 6th and 7th now in front. Darren Treacle, 1.1 second lead already. The only side-by-side battle into turn number 1. Anybody going to lift? Bruce Wiley's going to lift. That is what happened there. David Curtis in his chance possibly for a nightly sweep. Starting to fade already 7 seconds behind Darren Treacle. Battle right here, Aaron Dietrich, Colin Kortnick. And Aaron going to take that spot away. He was very fast at the end of the heat race. Ultimately just ran out of time to get up there and fight for the win. Darren Treacle out in front here at Long Beach. Battle at the back of the field. Bruce Wiley and David Curtis fighting for position. So David Gonna get that spot, but really, he goes defensive immediately out of turn 11. They will be side by side, I think, back into turn 1. Interesting to see that between these two. Return number 1. It is going to be David Curtis taking the position away, but still not clear. And they're going to make contact into the fountain section. And they're going to... The 43. Oh, man, they are just stuck together. David Curtis and Bruce Wiley both involved in that one. Let's go take a look. They made contact getting into the fountain section, and then contact coming out of it too. And they just get stuck together, and really nothing you can do. He has to back up. Bruce gets going. But man, bummer for both of those guys who were up at the front of the last race, the heat race. Now finding themselves fighting for last place. As this, the fight for second. Brian Kennedy has caught Mike Nickum, and this is 3 seconds behind Darren Treacle, who is just driving away into the California sunset. Quite a ways back. You can finally see these two battling. This is on board from Mike Nickum, looking back to Brian Kennedy. Not too far behind Aaron Dietrich. He's starting to close the gap to those two. He was fastest car other than your race leader. He ran a 124.92 to Darren Treacle's 124.79. Aaron's got to be careful not to burn his stuff up. We saw he got a little bit squirrely towards the end of the heat race. Definitely missing a few guys out here tonight. Scott Kim not racing tonight. I think he's traveling. And a lot of these other guys in this league do a lot of real-world racing. So field size definitely a little smaller than you would expect in the fall, winter, spring. But this is prime time to get out there in a real race car. So you can't pass up those opportunities when you have them. This is the battle for second. Mike Nickum. Oh, as Aaron Dietrich gets the right rear, a little bit of a tail slap on the right rear of his BMW M4 GT4. And you gotta wonder if that's caused any suspension damage to the right rear shocks or control arms or anything like that. Appears to be all right. Doesn't seem to be towed out or anything like that. I think Colin Kornick went pretty deep into turn 1. Here comes Dean Tulien trying to close up. We hope you're enjoying the race tonight. Be sure to check out the sponsors SEOMike and Duncan Racing Designs, presenting sponsors of this league. You see them on a lot of the race cars out here. SEOMike sponsors, as well as paint schemes by Duncan. Perry Duncan, that is. Who I believe is here watching in chat. So thanks again for making these cars look so good. As Brian Kennedy is going to take second position away. The problem is, he's got 5 seconds to make up. And Darren Treacle is no slouch. He's going to have to make a big mistake or two. We'll keep an eye on the lap times as they cross the stripe here. Darren Treacle, 125.19. Brian Kennedy, 125.94. He is a whole 0.8 or so slower than your race leader. We'll see if Brian, now with a little bit of clean air on the nose, is going to be able to do anything and pull away from these guys and try and track down Darren Treacle. Otherwise, Darren's just got an easy rest of this race. there are battles going on. Colin Kortnick trying to hold off Dean Tulane. And even the battle back here, Bruce Wiley and David Curtis. These guys are not done fighting. They both have damage now, too. Brian Kennedy already is starting to stretch away from Mike Nickum. He's been the second quickest car on the track all race long, so not a surprise for him to get up here to second. And we'll see what he's able to do. Colin Kortnick's made contact with the wall, and he has lost a position to Dean Tulane. Let's go back and see if there was contact between them. Oh, just gets loose over the curb and does get tagged by Dean Tulane, who could not really avoid him. I'm not sure. Colin did not bring it to pit road, so he's still able to continue, but that car doesn't look amazing right now. Let's see if he's able to keep up and get a challenge back up there for 5th position. Aaron Dietrich in 4th after starting in 6th, trying to get onto the podium. Finding himself in a similar situation to what he was in the heat race. Last time around, Darren Treacle ran his fastest lap of the race, 7/10 quicker than Brian Kennedy. Let's see what it is at the stripe this time, but that margin continues to grow as we've got 3 Mercedes out in front. Darren Treacle 124.91. Brian Kennedy 125.32, so a little bit quicker. That is his fastest. Still about 4/10. Even with some damage, Bruce Wiley's 3rd quickest on the track. David Curtis just as quick as most of the guys up here in the mid-pack, but he is just too far back now, 24 seconds behind. And barring any incident from these leaders, he is going to finish back there. This is the battle for 3rd, the final step of the podium. It's going to be Mike Nickum trying to hold off Aaron Dietrich, and I am not sure he's going to be able to. He does have good speed tonight, but he's been a couple of tenths slower, as Colin Kortnick has had another problem. This time, lost the back end and nosed it into the wall. Pretty big hit. And he has fallen now to the 8th position. And that car continues to collect damage. So not the night that Colin, I'm sure, was looking for. He had a really good start to the heat race. Things have just gone south since then. But he will look to rebound next week, and I'm going to take a look at our schedule and just double check where we're going. It's gonna be Montreal. Very cool. Mike Nickum still hanging on to 3rd. He's got heavy pressure from Aaron Dietrich. And Brian Kennedy has gotten away by almost 3 seconds, and he has kept pace at this point now with Darren Treacle. That gap about 5.8 seconds and stabilized. And here we go, Aaron Dietrich right on the back bumper, fakes driver's right. He keeps faking driver's right. Trying to force a mistake from Mike. They now pile down into turn 11. Trying to be patient, getting back on the throttle, but it's just such a hard place to keep up with the car in front of you. They streak past the start finish line. Under 7 minutes left in this race. Looking like the pace that Darren Treacle is setting may get us an extra lap in this one. I will tell you though, 3/10 slower than Brian Kennedy last time, who seemed to found a little bit more speed. He ran his fastest lap of the race. That is the second quickest of the race. And that gap could start to shrink, and I just don't know if there's enough time. So we'll keep an eye on this third place battle as long as there is a battle. Mike Nickham has been able to pull away by 2 or 3 car lengths. It's right on board here as they go through the hairpin, turn number 11. It's almost entirely a blind corner. You gotta wait so long to get back on the throttle as well. 5.5 minutes to go in this race. Again, Brian Kennedy a little bit quicker than Darren Treacle, who I think has just kind of taken his foot off the gas. Really, the top 4 all running almost exactly the same time. All within 2/100ths of a second. Pretty fun one here tonight, though, from Long Beach. I'm excited to see where the championship leads now, with Bruce Wiley finishing potentially back in the 6th spot in the feature race, and Aaron Dietrich getting a couple points on him in the feature race as well. It will be interesting to see how the points shake out. With 2 more events, it's going to be Montreal and Okayama, the last 2 races of the season. A couple of great racetracks. We do have a battle 6th and 7th. That's going to be David Curtis and Bruce Wiley. This would be another point if Bruce Wiley gets passed up. Aaron Dietrich's pulled it back in. He is right here in the 4th spot, challenging for 3rd. Mike Nickham has defended very well in this race, and he's only got a few more laps to hold him off. We'll see if he's able to do so. Good job through the fountain section. Aaron gets a little offline, gets into the barrier. He keeps pushing the issue with these concrete walls, and one time, eventually, the concrete wall is going to push back, but he is right there on the bumper. Trying to set up for a nice run on this stretch. It looks like he's going to do just that. Here comes Aaron Dietrich right on the tail. But not close enough to make a move. There's so much speed on entry into some of these. Trying to get that car pointed in the right direction. 57 slides a little bit, but Aaron just not quick enough back on the gas. Now last time around, Darren Treacle is the quickest again, so he is setting himself up for a race win here at Long Beach. Very impressive run. He has led the whole way in this feature race. Brian Kennedy, the next one, on track, about 7 seconds back. Fought his way from 5th to 2nd place. Take a peek back here. Mike Nickham still holding on. really good, respectful battle between these two. This could be the opportunity for Aaron Dietrich. He's got a good run. Not going to peek the nose out. Into turn 9, he's very close to getting alongside though, right there. Really trying to sling that car around, but he seems to struggle just out of turn number 11, and then he has to make it all back up throughout the rest of the lap. Gonna have to improve on that, as they are gonna be coming to the white flag next time. Very possible this could be the last lap of the race as well. We'll have to see how the pacing of Darren Treacle works out. We will keep an eye on this battle for third. This could very well be the last lap of the race. Waiting for the officials to give us the word. I think it's going to be very close. And this could be a situation where Darren Treacle slows down by a couple of seconds just to give us one less lap and one less time that he has to think about messing up. And Aaron Dietrich's really got to push the issue here. He is right on the back bumper. He's got the draft. Just not close enough, as here comes Darren Treacle. Gonna be a few seconds left in this one. White flag, I believe. It looks like white flag is in the air. Yeah, it looks like white flag, so we're on the last lap. Darren Treacle's still wheeling it out here. He had a few seconds left on the clock, so we are getting an extra lap in this race. That is how fast that 70 car has been in this feature race. Fastest on the track almost every single time. And that gives one more lap opportunity for Aaron Dietrich, who might have thought that that was his only shot. He's got to close up a little bit more, though. Gonna have to set himself up for a run down the backstretch. This is the corner he's gonna have to really get right. And Mike Nickum does a good job through there, though. The gap pretty close. He's gonna try and take the run. Is he gonna send it down into the corner? No, he's gonna back out. Try and force a mistake from the 57, and Nickum goes a little wide. Really tight racing here for the final step of the podium, and he is not going to bump him out of the way. Darren Treacle wins at Long Beach, Brian Kennedy second, and Mike Nickum defending like crazy, able to hold him off, and he's going to finish third place here at Long Beach tonight. How about Aaron Dietrich, though? Got to commend the effort to nearly get that position away from him. Dean Tooley in strong fifth place. Bruce Wiley gonna finish in sixth. David Curtis gonna come home in seventh. Not the result he was looking for. And Colin Kortnick, he'll come out of turn 11. He will come home eighth place here tonight at Long Beach. But what a race for Darren Treacle. Your winner here in the feature at Long Beach, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Darren Treacle, your race winner, leads flag to flag. And then Brian Kennedy second, Mike Nickum third on the podium. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email. SEOMike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEOMike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEOMike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. And we are back at the racetrack. Going to be pulling in our race winner here this evening. That is going to be Mr. Darren Treacle. Hey Darren, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam.
Well, Darren, not a lot of pressure on you through that feature race, but man, you were putting down a heck of a pace. We even got an extra lap in compared to the heat. You know, obviously not the way you wanted the heat race to go, starting from the pits, and ended up at the tail end of the field. But definitely a strong run here. How'd the car feel, and how'd you feel throughout the race? Oh, I think I lost him. Hey, Darren, you there?
I am. Go try it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. You had a fantastic run here in the feature race, dominated, led flag to flag. Nobody could really touch you in terms of pace all race long. Obviously didn't get a lot of experience through the heat race after starting in the pits there, but man, just tell us what you were doing and how the car felt for you out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a call that came in there as soon as I went on the starting line there in the heat race, though, that I had to take, so I missed that. And then I jumped back in later just to turn some laps, just to get a little practice in, since I didn't really get a practice. I only did the qualifier, but the car felt good. It helped getting, starting on the pole for the second race, because I finished last in the first race because I didn't, that whole thing. But and I knew that if I could get out front, I could, there's a pretty good chance that I could lead flag to flag, barring no mistakes. I didn't realize I would, quite have the pace that I had based on my qualifying and what was happening in the heat race and my few laps I got there. But yeah, I was very pleased with how everything was going with the car and everything. I mean, it was working well, and I stayed in the low 25s, mid to high 24s, turned my fastest lap, I think, on the last lap of the race. So yeah, no, the car felt great.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pace throughout the entire race. And Long Beach, such a difficult, bumpy, technical track, street course like this. Is there anything, you found just running here, similar or different to any of the other tracks we've run this season?
Yeah, I haven't run that many races this season, but I've done quite a bit in the past, and I mean, this is a tough track. It's surrounded by concrete barriers. The slightest little touch, and you might get lucky and get a 0x, but there's a bigger chance you're going to get unlucky. If anybody wrecks, it usually will block the path if you're behind them. It is bumpy. It's a little bit slick. There's some off-camber stuff. It's a street course, so you do have to be kind of gingerly on the gas, exiting the turns, and just be aware that it could come around on you. And sometimes you might get that iRacing spin where it will start to go around, and you actually can catch it, but for whatever reason, it just never stops. So it's a weird phenomenon, but it happens. But yeah, you have to be pretty precise with this track. It's a lot of fun. It's a great track, but you definitely have to be precise and try to stay off the walls.
Yeah, definitely intimidating place to race, and a lot of fun to watch. The real races happen here. And you put on a great show for us, running away with it in the feature here. But we go to Montreal next week You think you'll be able to make that race, and how do you feel about going out there if you do?
I am, I'm going to plan on making it. I like Montreal. Obviously it's a lot different track than here, but it's a fun track. It's a lot of fun. It should be, some good racing. And every time I say, hey, I like that track, I'm good there, or I feel good about going there, for whatever reason, I never end up doing that well. So I'm just going to say it's a good track. Should be fun, good racing, all around for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be up at the front if you are there. You always find your way up into contention for these things. But great win here in the feature. Anybody want to give a quick shout out to?
Sure, give a shout out to Scott. He takes a lot of time setting these things up, and we appreciate that. You take time and do the broadcast and do a great job at that. And the guys that do show up, we appreciate that. And SEOMike, I believe he's still on board. And I can't remember who
Duncan,
it is.
Duncan
Oh
Racing
yeah,
Designs.
Duncan, Perry
Yep.
Duncan. Yep. We appreciate him coming on board as well. And then I'll give a shout out to myself, Treacle Insurance Agency, and Haggerty. We insure race cars and so forth. And I'll give a little shout out to Steve Focacci. Maybe we can get him to come back next season, or at least in the fall.
Yeah, definitely would love to see him make a return and give you guys all a fight for the win here. But great race out there, Darren. Good to see you back and up on top of the podium here. So go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds great. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. So let's go to second place finisher tonight. That is going to be Brian Kennedy. We go take a look a little further back. We'll get him pulled in. Hey Brian, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey Adam, I hear you.
Well, man, you had a lot of speed here tonight. That was evident in the heat race where you got collected in something and you ended up 5 seconds, I think, behind after being at 1.13 seconds behind the leaders. Man, you really had the good speed here in the feature race, but I think Darren just too far out in front. Just give us a rundown of your night.
Yeah, actually that first heat I just zoned out and missed my braking point in the turn one, and just had to avoid running into the guys and went into that runoff area a little bit. But then I got some open space. It was relaxing, I guess, as relaxing as Long Beach can be. But yeah, I guess Darren, in usual, he likes to show up late and throw down some laps, and you could tell in qualifying he was getting faster every lap, but he just ran out of time to get pole there. And then I don't know what happened. He had to start from the pits or something, but yeah, he was just uncatchable, of course, in the feature race. So yeah, congrats to Darren. Good to have him here tonight.
Yeah, and you were able to keep pace with him for the majority of the race, and you did have to make some passes. You started 5th in the feature, end up coming home in the 2nd spot. We go to Montreal next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Yeah, chicane city, a lot of that right-left chicanes there. Yeah, it's a track I used to dislike it, and I've grown to like it a little bit now, But I'm looking forward. I'm a Formula One fan, so I always like going on the F1 tracks.
Yeah, I think it should be an interesting one. These GT4 cars should be pretty tight racing between most of the drivers in the field here, so it should make for some good action. But you come home second tonight at Long Beach. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, hey, hi to, I don't know if Perry's watching tonight, but he's certainly a sponsor and does amazing paint jobs for all the cars. And I think shout out to Scott, the admin, who's also traveling, but I think he's watching now. And then SEOMike, our other sponsor, and to V-Speed too. Welcome
Awesome.
back.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back this week.
Yeah, definitely good to be back, and great run out there, and way to put on a show for us, making some passes, and we will catch you next week at Montreal.
All right, see you, Adam.
Thank you. Let's go to third place finisher now, and that's going to be Mike Nickham, who had his hands full in this one, and I do not see Mike in the chat here, so he is not going to be available to us, it appears. So great race for Mike. He was able to hold on to 3rd position after starting 2nd, and then Aaron Dietrich right there giving him his hands full, all the way to the end of this race. So great job by Mike. Congrats on 3rd place. And I think we're going to go through the rest of the results here, kind of wrap up for the evening. So let's pull up the race results here from Long Beach. And we do want to thank you for tuning in once again and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. These are your top 8 finishers. Darren Treacle taking the race win in dominating fashion. Brian Kennedy, strong run for him. He comes home in the 2nd spot. 3rd position is going to be Mike Nickham, holding off Aaron Dietrich, comes home for 4th here. Dean Tooling finishes in the top 5 in 5th. Bruce Wiley comes home in 6th. Colin Kortnick finishes in 7th, and David Curtis showing as 8th place at the end of this one. He may have gotten a time penalty that set him behind Colin, so didn't see how that worked out in the feature, but yeah, just a really fun night here at Long Beach. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Check out the sponsors in the video description. We'll be back next week with this series from Montreal next Thursday night. And tomorrow night, we're back with the Champion Motorsports Friday Night Trucks from Gateway. So tune on in for that one about 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. So a late race, but should be exciting stuff at a very fun track in the Midwest. Do hope you enjoyed, and thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.